Postcards can be items of interest to ruminate on. I used to have one addressed to my father at either 5717 Forbes or the Ruskin. It was written in Russian and sent from Russia to my father when he was still with our family. We had a Studebaker lark we called Penelope. We watched Man from U.N.C.L.E., Secret Agent Man, dance to the songs from The Wizard of Oz, falling over hassocks, and frolicking. And sometimes we would get a record listing with the new things from Capitol Records. It was lost when they threw away my 7 boxes of life's work, a personal loss that was greater to me than anyone else. I wanted to divest from some things from England that were being used in a sort of Ayn Rand fallacy of libertarianism versus American journalism. Somehow my dependence on them because I was deaf and looking for recognition connoted that their take from thousands of miles away was clearer and truer than mine from up close and being victimized. But we lived at the Ruskin, and one of the early signs that there was a parallel universe being used on me was that I was given a book by John Ruskin called King of the Golden River while living at the Ruskin. The double entendre of Ruskin and Ruskin was lost on me. I didn't notice it for many, many years. I was a trusting child. I identified with Gluck, but of course now that I've been poisoned, I identify still with Gluck, but I'm identified as one of the Black brothers who said to an old man, "You have had your share of life." It's clear they think I've had my share of life. We were taking the storybook forest. Tom Jones begins with a number of large words that are used almost nowhere else. And he describes a writer as offering things to victuallarians, meaning home cooking, the menu, being scrumptious, the writing. And these points of departure offer a glimpse of the way that storytellers made almost a mockery of the Bible by putting up a story that was once and for all what they could make of it. And the individuals who were, in my case, tortured were just parts of the puppet show. They openly regaled themselves as puppet masters. This sort of thing you would wish had been demoted in the 20th century from the strongholds of the church, where for centuries they've been thinking on these things. And of course, there's a menu of writing that's perfectly honorable and interesting. It's not just Tom Jones that has a bit of body, but Rabelais, the medieval Christian priest, Gargantua and Pantagruel, has body. Chaucer. So dignity may conscript into some forms of censorship when it comes to one's privacy. But literature has a tendency to trespass into realms that's up to you to read or not read, put down or continue with. I think of the way that the blue cloak of the deceived husband was used on me as a question of scruples in Christianity. In an enlightened secular society, scruples would come first. We wouldn't do that to somebody. We wouldn't confuse them and bewilder them using a neurochemical so that we could make some sort of weird medieval point for the purpose of a puppet master's gift for storytelling. Is that clear, Mr. Fripp? Mr. Trump? I don't side with you. I apologize to the girls who like me, but the truth is I'm already writhing at the lynch tree. There's nothing I can do about it. They use their storytelling powers on a powerless man and said things like in Blade Runner, wake up, time to die. It makes the scruples of secular power seem much more reasonable than this medieval stuff. I'm like anyone else. I'm interested in the biblical texts, like anyone else. It's not that unusual. But this crying shame of manipulation really should be marginalized. It shouldn't be in some regal high seat the way it is.